Shortly before kickoff here in Atlanta, dozens of mini parachutes were dropped from the roof of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They carried small gifts and they drifted down into the outstretched hands of supporters. Then, over the next 90 minutes, Portugal provided the USMNT with another painful reminder that the very best teams don't do handouts. Nothing comes for free, not against a European powerhouse and certainly not at the World Cup. For the second time in 4 days, Mauricio Pochettino's team went toe-to-toe with one of soccer's most accomplished teams. And once again, they showed they can hurt them. Just as against Belgium on Saturday, however, the US ended the night with nothing to show for it. 2 games, 2 losses, some positive signs but plenty of questions to answer, too. After a 5-2 defeat by Belgium, goals from Francisco Trincão and substitute João Félix gave Portugal a 2-0 win in the final game before Pochettino announces his roster for this summer's home World Cup on May 26. Remember, the visitors had no Cristiano Ronaldo, no Bernardo Silva and no Ruben Dias, either. In some ways, this international break proved a useful experiment. On this evidence, the USA's issues are not difficult to diagnose. Pochettino's team lacks the attacking ruthlessness and defensive solidity the world's best. Apart from that, once again in Atlanta, the USA failed to convert its chances before being punished far too easily at the other end. Better to learn those lessons now than in the summer, admittedly. The only problem? How does the head coach go about finding a fix in the next 72 days before the USA opens its World Cup account against Paraguay? Particularly when Christian Pulisic is among his primary concerns. He will shoulder the burden of expectation this summer. Here, though, Pulisic was guilty of missing several big chances before being hauled off at halftime. The AC Milan star has now gone 8 USA games without a goal. He hasn't scored for club or country since December 28. By the time he left the field, Trincão had converted a rare Portugal opening. It was brilliantly created by Bruno Fernandes. The visitors' second goal, however, was criminal. A Portugal corner was allowed to float all the way to Félix on the edge of the box. He had time to take a touch and fire the bouncing ball into the bottom corner. Many of the 72,000 fans had streamed out by the end, leaving Pochettino to ponder his next move. He has given himself a huge pool of players to pick from, and it is a concern that, so close to the World Cup, the Argentine still doesn't appear to know his best team. How else to explain his persistent experimentation? 2 games, against Senegal and Germany, stand between his team and Judgment Day. Pochettino was at pains to find positives after this second loss in a few days, insisting his team is not far away from beating top teams and that only small details are deciding these games. But the path leading towards the later rounds of the World Cup grew more treacherous for Pochettino's team on Tuesday night, even before a ball had been kicked in Atlanta. On the other side of the world, Turkey beat Kosovo to secure the final spot in Group D alongside America, Paraguay and Australia. Turkey is ranked number 22 in the world, only 6 places below the USA and more than 50 spots above Kosovo. Last summer, Vincenzo Montella's side beat the US 2-1. And so, all of a sudden, the co-host's task appears rather more daunting. Even in this bloated new format, which will see all but 16 sides reach the knockout stages.